Rather fun being at your own memorial service. Shouldn't really be here, but I can't help feeling very proud. Pretty poor turnout, though, isn't it? What on earth will the vicar find to say?
Here are the gumboots you ordered, madam. Here are the gumboots you ordered, madam. My somewhat unusual text is taken from a play in which Reggie's son Mark has just made his West End debut. Mark's part in the play was not a large one. He had just one line. Yes, you've guessed it. Here are the gumboots you ordered.
I didn't get where I am today going on and on about gumboots.
Just one line, yet a vital line. For if the lady had not received the footwear in question, she would not have gone out into the farmyard mud that dark night. She would not have been ritually slaughtered by the maniacal cowman. And there would have been no play.
Sorry, I must have... Sorry.
I saw the play twice. On the first occasion, Mark got the line slightly wrong. He said, here are the madams you ordered, gumboot. But on the second occasion, the line was delivered by Mark with rare skill. He became that servant, handing over the gumboots and then retiring wistfully to the periphery of life's stage.
That's the 5th reference to gumboots.
I chose this text because I had a feeling that Reggie would have liked it. Reggie was a man with a taste for the unexpected. And I think he had an innate feeling for those on the periphery of life, the underdogs, the misfits, the backroom boys, the providers of life's actual and metaphorical gumboots.
6.
Reggie was essentially the kindly man, and we offer our sympathy to his wife, Elizabeth. And we offer our sympathy to his daughter, Linda, and her fine young husband, Tom. Indeed, the whole family feel united today. They are all deeply moved. It would be presumptuous of me to speculate on the reasons for Reggie's tragic death. It may well be that the rat race had grown increasingly distasteful to this least rat-like of men. Reggie was a kindly man. Were he here today, his sympathy would go out to that little bird that is flitting in fear across the vault of our lovely church. Let us also take comfort in our faith. There is a sense in which Reggie Perrin is not dead. He is in a very real and meaningful way here with us today, in this very church, at this very time. Let us all remember Reggie Perrin in silence.
Oh, I don't think I've...
Oh, I was an old friend of Reggie's, Martin Wellborn. I lived in Brazil. We lost touch.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm having a few people back to the house. Would you care to join us?
Thank you very much.
Henry, this is Martin Wellborn, an old friend of Reggie's. I'm sure you two will get on like a house on fire.
How do you do?
It's like shaking hands with a warm mullet.
Congratulations on your engagement, Mr. Posset.
Oh, thank you. But, please, Elizabeth and I are trying to keep it a secret. It wouldn't be seemly to announce it yet, with Reggie still practically warm.
No, quite. Not with Reggie still practically warm, no. No, I hadn't seen Reggie for 25 years, you know. I sequestered myself in Brazil following an amorous disappointment in Sutton Coldfield.
Let me introduce you to some people.
Yes.
Well, this is Reggie's daughter, Linda, and her husband, Tom. She's an old friend of Reggie, Mervyn Wishbone.
Oh, good. Let me get you something to eat.
No, thank you.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Wishbone. Or should I say Daddy?
Try one of these scampi concoctions. Oh, so! They're delicious.
I think not.
Oh. Reggie was a nice man, but he didn't like me very much for some reason.
No, I don't think that's true.
You weren't there.
No, that's true.
Let me introduce you to Linda's Uncle Jimmy. Jimmy Anderson. This is an old friend of Reggie's from the Argentine, Melvin Washroom.
Hello. Have a vol au vent.
Oh, thank you.
You don't know that I like being sent on my way with scampi and chicken vol au vent.
Jack hits the bucket. Everybody comes round. Nosh, nosh, gargle, gargle, rhubarb, rhubarb. Odd.
Yes, it's very odd, yes.
I've often wanted to know, what's it like in Peru in winter?
No, Brazil.
Really, it's like Brazil.
No. I was in Brazil, not Peru.
Oh, sorry. Memory like a sieve. Could have sworn Tom said Peru.
No, Tom said the Argentine, but it was Brazil.
Oh. Well, what's it like in Brazil in the winter?
Chile.
You must meet Reggie's son, Mark. Mark? Was an old friend of your father's from Brazil, Melvin Windscreen.
Oh, well, hello. Stupid sermon, that.
Oh, I rather liked it. How's the play going?
Oh, it closed on Saturday.
Oh, you're out of work then?
No, I wish I was. No, I'm doing an experimental German mine play in a converted railway shed in Kentish Town. It's very good, very Brechtian. It's called Can Egbert Pumpernickel Reach True Maturity and Defeat the Great Plague of the Walking Sticks?
Oh. Yeah. Do you play Egbert Pumpernickel?
No, I play a rolled umbrella.
Your father was an awfully nice chap, I always thought.
Well, yes, I suppose he was, come to think of it.
Yes, I suppose he was, come to think of it. What about when they made Reggie Perrin, they threw away the mould?
Oh, well, can I get you another kitchen?
Kitchen?
Kitchen sink, drink, send the old pater off with a bit of a booze up.
Thank you, yes. Send the old pater off with a bit of a booze up.
I thought so. Martin Wellborn, indeed.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Oh, CJ, I don't think you've met a friend of Dad's from Brazil, Melville Windpipe.
How do you do? I was Reggie's boss. Any friend of Reggie Perrin is a friend of mine. When they made Reggie Perrin, they threw away the mould.
But I don't want to hear it from you.
Nice to meet you, CJ.
Odd sermon, that, eh, Windpipe? I think that fellow must have spent his life indulging in gumboot diplomacy, eh?
Oh, my God, he's cracking jokes now.
So you were in Venezuela?
Brazil.
Same thing. I didn't get where I am today by knowing the difference between one foreign country and another. Excuse me, I must rescue Mrs. C.J. She finds company difficult.
Yes.
You know, you remind me of Reggie. Take away the beard and you'll be very similar.
By Jove, see it now?
Yes, a lot of people often used to say that. In fact, they used to call us the Terrible Twins.
Yeah, you look a bit older, of course. Well, not older, exactly, more or less young.
Yeah, we were the same age, as a matter of fact, yes. Yes, my appearance is the result of the Brazilian climate.
Yeah, tricky blight of the climate. No wonder these foreigners are all a bit bonkers. Yes, I'd be a bit bonkers if I lived in Helsinki or Dakar.
Are they looking after you all right, Mr. Wellborn? It must be very difficult not knowing it.
Yes, it must. Yeah, I mean, yes, it is. Yes. Well, I think I'd better be on my way now, Mrs. Perrin, if you'll excuse me. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
May I say, Mrs. Perrin, you're exactly as I'd imagined you.
Oh, thank you. Mr. Wellborn?
Yes?
Perhaps I could take you for a drive one day. Show you a little of the English countryside.
Oh, thank you. Very nice.
Would you like that?
I'm sorry.
Well, if the idea doesn't bore you too much.
No, not at all, Mr. The idea doesn't bore me at all, Mrs. Perrin.
I'm so looking forward to hearing about Brazil.
What?
You must know it so well.
Yes.
And Brazil is the largest country in Latin America and the 5th largest in the world, comprising 3,287,195 square miles. It is bounded by every Latin American country except Chile and Ecuador, except Chile and...
So you are in, Donald. I was wondering if you felt like popping down to the Clytemnestra Arms for a pint of Guinness. I'm meeting some of my friends from the Chamber of Commerce.
Not very much, Miss Pershaw, but I'm reading, actually. Reading about Brazil, as a matter of fact.
Brazil is it now? Emigrating the moment my back is turned.
No, not emigrating, Miss Pershaw. Try not to be so bleeding ignorant, you know. Brazil to me, you know, is just big footballers and little nuts. Know what I mean?
Some of those footballers are rather nice. I have never married, but who knows, I might have done had my paths crossed those of Pele, Yassino, Rivellino. What about Saturday, Donald? Why don't you pop in for a cold collation and we can watch the 1:30 from Haydock Park?
Oh, very tempting, but I do have a prior engagement, Miss...
Prior engagement, my foot! More like another woman!
Do push up, Miss Pershaw. There are 5 main geographical zones: the Guiana Highlands in the north, the Great Lowlands of the southern, the Amazon Basin, Great Lowlands of the Amazon Basin, vast plateau, and the vast plateau and the highlands to the south of the Amazon. Vast plateau and highlands to the south. Vast plateau and highlands to the south. The Great Lowlands of the Amazon Basin, the vast plateau and the highlands to the south of the Amazon, the basin of the Parona in the south, and the coastal plains to the east.
Your knowledge of it all is almost encyclopedic.
It's all so different here. I've enjoyed today the English countryside, the sun burning broken bottles in the hedges, glinting on upturned prams in village ponds, shining with a silvery sheen on the bellies of poisoned fish in the canal, flashing off notices saying, "War Department, keep out." It's all changed, Elizabeth. And yet, to me, it's still, quite simply, home.
I've enjoyed it too. It's almost like being with Reggie again. This is nice.
Yes. Tell me, Elizabeth, wouldn't Henry Posset be upset if he knew I was here like this?
I've broken it off with Henry Posset, Martin.
Oh, have you? Oh, is there any particular reason for breaking it off with Henry Posset?
I suppose the reason was you, Martin.
I see. Yeah. Thank you.
You know, you just sit like Reggie with your feet straight out in front of you like that.
Oh, really?
But he always sat at the other end of the settee.
Oh, did he? Oh, that is an amazing coincidence, yes. Mind you, I'm not surprised. When we shared rooms together, he always used to... Did he tell you we shared rooms together?
No.
No, that's odd, because we did. We shared rooms together. And in those days, we always used to sit at opposite ends of the settee to each other. Just as well, really, otherwise we'd been sitting on top of each other. But was Reggie sort of restless sort of chap? Did he walk around the room a lot?
Not much.
No, not like me, because I do a lot of restless walking around the room. Yes. Darling, I don't criticise Reggie's taste in any way, but I must say I'm not over-enamoured with these paintings of the Algarve.
It's amazing, isn't it, that you've lived in Brazil for so long, but you still recognise the Algarve.
Yes. There is a reason for that, Elizabeth. I had a letter from Reggie in which he said, I think I can remember his almost his exact words. I've just bought another awful painting of the Algarve, painted by my doctor.
Dentist.
Dentist, that's it, dentist, that's right. Yes, that's it, yes.
Did he tell you where the lavatory was as well?
What?
Well, just now when you went to the lavatory, you seemed to know where it was.
Yes, he did. I think it was the same letter. It may have been another letter. I'm not absolutely sure. But I remember he said, I must stop writing now, Martin. I've got to go to the loo, which incidentally is at the top of the stairs face on the right. He seemed obsessed with letting me know the layout of the whole house. Yes. Perhaps he was short of news. Yes, that was probably it. Why don't you sit here?
This is nice.
Yes, just like the old day. Just like having old Reggie, is it? For you, is it?
Do you know, I don't feel a bit guilty about Henry Posset. Hmm? But I do feel guilty about Reggie.
No, you mustn't. He wouldn't mind.
How can you tell?
Well, of course I can't, but I'm sure he would not. Let me tell you this, Elizabeth. If I were Reggie, which of course I'm not, and I were standing in this room at this very moment, I think I'd be very proud to see how much you had loved him.
Yes, I did love him. And now I love you, Martin. Is that terrible?
No, of course not, darling. Elizabeth.
Yes?
Will you marry me?
But you can't marry Mum, Dad. It'd be bigamy.
It can't be bigamy on the same hand both times.
Yes, but Mum doesn't know that. It's bigamy as far as she's concerned.
It's bigamy as far as anybody's concerned.
Look, Mum will find out it's you. You can't hide that sort of thing from your own wife. I must say, I think you're behaving very irresponsibly.
So what about your mother? She shouldn't be falling in love with me so soon after my death. Very flattering, but it is a bit of an insult.
What will you do for money?
I'll get a job. If I don't, I'll live off your mother. I left her enough.
Haven't you any pride?
Look, darling, it's my money. I earned it. Now, listen, Linda, look, seriously, darling, look, things weren't working out properly. This way they may. Why don't you wish me luck?
I do, Dad. I do.
Thanks. But I won't take it downstairs. Miss Pershaw might get the wrong idea. Right?
Okay.
She's young enough to be your daughter. Riff raff.
Well, you've certainly led a very varied and exciting life.
Yes, thank you, darling.
Do you know, you haven't told me anything at all about your parents, Martin.
Oh, my God. It's not easy for me to talk about them, darling.
Oh, try.
Yes, I'll try. My father was an anthropologist. He was killed in Turkey. His mule was struck by lightning in the Dardanelles.
How dreadful.
Yes. And when my mother heard the news, she fainted and broke her neck.
How can you break your neck fainting?
She was standing on the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Well, why do you never speak of them?
We quarrelled, you see, darling. I didn't speak to my parents for 8 years, 8 years.
Awful. Did you make it up?
Yes, I made it. Yes, I made it all up.
Did you ever have other women?
There was only one, darling. She was the daughter of an osteopath in Harrogate. She was sucked down before my very eyes in the mangrove swamps of the Amazon rainforest.
You've had your share of tragedy.
Yes, one soldier's arm, darling.
Do you have any pictures of any of them?
No, none at all. No pictures, no family trophies of any kind. No, absolutely none. No, they were all burnt in a gas mains explosion in Chorlton-cum-Hardy.
Tragedies all over the world.
Yes.
Where did you say your father was killed?
Yes. Where did I say that? I find it very painful to keep going over this, if you don't mind.
Yes, try to forget.
Yes, I've forgotten it already, darling, yes. One look at you and it's gone right out of my head. It's as though none of it had ever happened.
Would you be happy to live here?
Oh, yes, darling, yes. In a funny way, you know, Reggie's taste and mine were very similar.
Yes, you're alike in so many ways.
Are we?
Yes.
Are we really?
And yet, deep down, you're very different.
Oh, how do you know?
Oh, feminine intuition.
No, I think we're probably more alike than you think.
No, we women have
I'm sorry, darling. I think I know.
Well,
I won't argue, darling. Why should I argue? Lovely wife, lovely new home. All I need now is a job.
Oh, yes, I meant to tell you. I've heard about a job that might suit you.
Oh.
Come in. Nice to see you, Mr. Windpipe.
New chairs, I see.
Yeah. How do you know?
No, I didn't know. They just look new.
You're right. Very observant. The old ones used to make an embarrassing noise. Do sit down.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's rich. I get new chairs because of the noise, and they make the same noise. In the old days, that would have made me very angry. Not anymore. Life's too short. I'm going to come straight to the point. Cigar?
No, thank you, sir.
I could have sworn your name was Windpipe.
No, that was a mistake, sir.
Good. Splendid. Glad to hear it. Where was I?
You were coming straight to the point, Sir.
Yeah. I like you, Melvin. I like the fact that you come from Mexico. Uncluttered with preconceptions about British industry. Are you sure your name wasn't Windpipe?
Absolutely, Sir J.
I've got a job for you.
Well, that's very nice of you, Sir J, but I'm not very keen on the grind of office life. I have rather tried to stay away from that.
No. Nothing like that. I know what you mean. There's not much fun, you know, in a job like mine.
You amaze me.
I didn't get where I am today without knowing there's no fun in getting where I am today. Let me tell you this, Melville. Our overall sales last month across the whole spectrum were down 0.3%.
As usual.
What?
Is that usual? I'm very sorry to hear it, sir.
Oh, I couldn't care less myself. What's business all about? Profits, don't you believe it? Products, pull another one. It's about happiness. I'm setting up a foundation to make the employees happy.
How will you do that?
How will you do it, you mean, since you're going to run it? Do you know who opened my eyes to all this?
Reggie Perrin?
Right.
Good God.
Would you please send her in, Marion dear, if it's not too much trouble? I want you to meet your secretary.
Oh, thank you, Sir J. Wonder who I'll get. Be rather fun having a new secretary. It's the same secretary.
Melvin, I want you to meet Joan Greengross. Joan, this is your new boss, Melvin Washdale.
Hello.
It's Martin Wellborn, actually.
Do sit down.
Thank you, Sir J.
I hope I enjoy working for you as much as I enjoyed working for Mr. Perrin.
No, thank you, Miss Green. You enjoyed working for Mr. Perrin, did you?
Oh, very much. I only hope you find me satisfactory.
Oh, yes. I'm sure I'll find you very satisfactory.
Good, good. I'm sorry to bother you again, Marion dear, but could you send him in? Your departmental head. You will be entirely independent, but you will, of course, be responsible to him.
I see. I think.
Tony, come on in. Now, let me introduce Mr...
Martin Wellborn.
Great.
Nice to meet you.
Great. New chairs, Tony.
Great.
Do sit down.
I think I preferred him the way he was before.
Now, Tony, will you fill Melvin in with our plans?
Thank you, CJ. Well, we're setting up a foundation to make the employees happy. There have been some terrible mistakes. There was a disastrous scheme to sell exotic ices. Ludicrous. People got depressed.
Poor Reggie. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm all right now.
You're sure?
Tell me, CJ, have we found a name for the foundation?
I didn't get where I am today without naming it the Reginald Perrin Memorial Foundation.
Great.
Super.
Now, I'd just like to say a few words. As you all know, we're gathered here today because I have decided... Oh, dear, what am I saying? I'll get into trouble. Martin and I have decided... Come here, Martin. He's shy. You know, I think Martin's very brave to marry me. He's very brave to marry into all of you lot. And he hasn't even met my mother yet. You all know Martin. He was a friend of Reggie's.
Yes.
And I'm sure if Reggie was alive today, he'd be glad that... Oh, no, because if Reggie was alive, yes. I wouldn't be able to... Oh, dear, what am I saying? Oh, let's all have a drink.
Yes.
Bravo.
Here we are, Father.
Bravo! She got your father.
Yes, yes, half the battle's won. Yes, the other half could prove stickier.
Yeah. Storm cones hoisted.
Yes, quite. Yes. Do you mind if I join you, Mark?
No.
Well, cheers, good health.
Cheers.
Yes.
Look, Martin, this is no skin off my nose, right? But I think you ought to know this. She's marrying you to relive her life with Father. I mean, you know, it's just a word of advice.
Oh, thank you very much.
Right. Yes, well, I suppose I'd bet you blade.
Cheers. Go now, Mark.
No, really, no, I'm a scarper. Oh, stardom course, didn't I tell you? I've got a part in a new film. Yeah, I play a man who's been turned into a pig by a mad scientist. I've got to go home and learn me grunts. I'll see you.
I'm going to go make some coffee. Will you help, Mum?
Oh, I'll make it, Squirtle Bonds. I love making coffee. I'm a coffee person.
Mum and I'll make it. Won't we, Mum?
Oh, I see. Chinwag time. Planning something secretly. Well, off you go. No one's noticed a thing, have we, Martin?
No, we haven't noticed a thing, Jimmy.
All right, Linda, what is it?
Surely you know what it is. You must have realised, Mum.
No, what?
About Martin.
What about him?
He's not what he seems.
Do you mean he has a past? How thrilling.
I knew straight away. I can't see...
Oh, what is it? Did he have 5 wives?
Oh, don't be silly, Mum.
Oh, he's not Martin Borman, is he?
No. And he's not Martin Wellborn either. Mum, he's Dad. He's Reggie.
Oh, yes, I knew that. What? Yeah, well, you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can even fool all the people all the time. But you can't fool a wife.
Well, I do think you might have told them all before tonight.
Oh, I'm not going to tell them tonight.
Well, when are you going to tell them then?
I'm not. Never.
Never? But you've got to.
Linda, Reggie wasn't very happy as Reggie. He seems much happier as Martin Wellborn.
But it's a lie.
Yes, I know, but it's fun, isn't it?
Mum,
don't look so shocked. Why are children always so boringly strict about their parents? Would you do me out of my wedding day? My second honeymoon? Come on, bring that earwig in. Earwig? Tray, earwig, Perrin, Wellborn. What does it matter what we call things? Come on. Here we are.
Everything all right, is it? Oh, good. I say, this is jolly nice. I really feel as if I've known you all such a long time.
Do you really, dear? How nice.
That's what it's all about, people. I'm a person.
Of course you are, Tom.
Oh, don't bother with the coffee, darling. Let's have some more champagne,
Oh,
shall we?
I've got a better idea. I've got a bottle of fig wine in the boot.
You've got a better idea. He's got a bottle of fig wine in the boot.
Tom, you've forgotten the keys. Oh, he's such a forgetfulness person. Uncle Jimmy.
Oh. Excuse me. Smallest room. Must be the thought of fig wine. Funny chap, Johnny Psychology.
Hello?
Hello.
I was just thinking, darling, we could go over and see your mother this weekend, if you like. Hmm?
Yes. Yes, that'd be nice.
Is everything all right, darling?
Oh, yes. I've never felt righter.
Oh.
Martin.
Yes, darling?
I've completely forgotten Reggie ever existed.
Good. Good. Good.